In a world of shadows, where loyalty is a currency and power is the ultimate prize, one name echoed through the digital underworld: Tony Soprano. But this isn't the story you think you know. This isn't your father's mob. Forget the back alley handshakes and smoke-filled rooms. This is the new era. The era of encrypted data, ghost transactions, and psychological warfare fought across fiber optic lines. Born into a legacy of blood and honor, young Tony was different. He saw the world shifting. While the old guard clung to tradition, Tony saw the future in the glow of a smartphone screen. He understood that the real power wasn't just in the streets anymore, but in the servers, in the dark web, in the untraceable flow of cryptocurrency. He wasn't just building a crew, he was building a network. A digital empire hidden in plain sight. His rise was meteoric. He took over rackets that didn't even exist a decade ago. Online sports betting rings that operated globally. Black markets for luxury goods that moved with the click of a button. He laundered money not through restaurants, but through NFTs and complex shell corporations that were nothing more than lines of code. He was a ghost in the machine, a whisper on the wire. The feds knew a new king was rising, but they couldn't find his throne. But the throne is a lonely place. The same technology that gave him power also became his prison. Every notification, every encrypted message, every ping was a potential threat. Paranoia became his shadow, a constant companion in the sterile glow of his high-tech command center. He had more connections than anyone in history, yet he'd never felt more alone. The pressure mounted, a silent weight on his soul. He had everything, yet he was empty. That's when he found himself in a place no one would ever expect, a therapist's office. Not some backroom shrink for the mob, but a legitimate, by-the-book professional, Dr. Melfi. He went there searching for a fix, a way to silence the noise in his head. He spoke of his business, of the stress of management, cloaking his digital crimes in corporate jargon. "I feel like I'm coming in at the end," he confessed, the city lights reflecting in his eyes. The best is over. He wasn't talking about the glory days of the Mafia. He was talking about a world where human connection was being replaced by digital avatars, where trust was verified by blockchain, not by looking a man in the eye. He was a modern king ruling a kingdom of ghosts, and he was terrified of becoming one himself. In these sessions, the digital kingpin peeled back his layers. We see flashbacks not of street brawls, but of his first hack. The thrill of cracking a secure server. The cold sweat of a digital trace almost leading back to him. He remembered his father, Johnny Boy Soprano, a man of fists and fear. Tony respected him, but also pitied him. A dinosaur who never saw the asteroid coming. "My father," Tony explained to Melfi, his voice strained, "he'd break a guy's leg, stop me. I can ruin a man from 1,000 miles away without ever touching him. I can erase his life savings, his reputation, his entire identity with a few keystrokes. Tell me, Doc, which one is crueler?" The therapy sessions became his only anchor. Dr. Melfi, armed with her knowledge of the human psyche, started to see through the corporate facade. She saw the scared boy hiding behind the mob boss, the son desperate for his father's approval, yet determined to surpass him in a world his father couldn't even comprehend. But the digital world is relentless. His enemies weren't just rival families anymore. They were anonymous hackers from across the globe, law enforcement agencies using sophisticated AI to hunt him, and even disgruntled members of his own crew who could leak everything with a single screenshot. How? No turf war erupted, fought not with guns in the streets, but with malware and denial of service attacks. His entire empire was under siege. We see him in his command center, screens flickering with code, data streams, and live surveillance feeds. He's a general on a digital battlefield. He moves with cold precision, launching counterattacks, setting traps, turning his enemies' technology against them. The line between man and machine blurs. He trusts the algorithm more than he trusts his own capos. In one visceral flashback, we see a young Tony betrayed for the first time. Not by a rat wearing a wire, but by a close friend who sold his IP address for a pittance. The pain was different. It wasn't a physical wound. It was a digital one, a breach of trust that cut deeper than any knife. It was the moment he learned that in the new world, everyone is a potential ghost, a faceless avatar with a price. His internal monologues grow darker. They talk about the family, he thinks to himself, staring out at the sprawling, indifferent city. But what is it now? A group chat? A secure server? We don't break bread anymore. We just share files. There's no honor. There's just access. The weight of his crown was crushing him. The constant vigilance, the digital ghosts haunting his every move. He finds himself driving, aimlessly, through the night. The open road, a relic of a simpler time. He pulls over, gets out of the car, and just looks at the stars. No screens. No signals. No data. For a fleeting moment, there is silence. A real, analog silence. He takes a deep breath, the cold night air filling his lungs. Is this what freedom feels like? Or is it just another form of emptiness? The story of the modern Tony Soprano is not about a man's rise to power, but the cost of that power in an age of total connection and profound isolation. It's a tragedy about a king who conquered the digital world only to lose his own soul in the process. He's trapped in a gilded cage he built himself, scrolling through a life he can't feel. He is the ultimate anti-hero for our time. A man who holds the world in the palm of his hand, but can't find a single thing to hold onto. His story is a dark mirror, reflecting our own anxieties about technology, identity, and the search for meaning in a world that's more connected, yet more lonely than ever before. The Soprano legacy continues, not in blood, but in code. And the final cost is yet to be calculated. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the mind of a modern mob boss. If you're fascinated by complex characters and the dark side of our digital world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Let us know in the comments what you think of this reimagined Tony Soprano. We'll see you in the next one.